How did you start producing photos, making pictures?
How to start? It was always English, huh?
Ist besser auf Englisch oder was? It's better in English. Okay, it's better in English.
So actually I started, I was always doing some art stuff, but I was never sure what it should be, like painting, drawing, photography. So I started education as a graphic designer, finished that education and quit this profession. To do different stuff, and actually it was, as many people experience, traveling, nice motives, taking pictures.
You are from Germany.
Yeah, exactly. So
where are you born?
Siegburg is close to Cologne.
Close to Cologne.
Very west side.
And you studied in Cologne as well?
Yeah, exactly.
And where did you go abroad? Where did you travel?
Then it was South America and Asia mostly. So as many travelers, I had a camera and yeah, fell in love. I thought like, okay, I want to learn this. Even I had no idea where I'm gonna end up. And then on bottom line, I went to Berlin and started an internship in a studio for photography, for commercial photography. Learned the whole technique for a year or something, and then just started to be freelancer and just went my way.
How do you survive as an artist? You can get income from your pictures? How does it work?
No, you stay skinny.
Yeah, well, that's good for health. We are fit, we are.
How to survive? Good, more or less. It always changes. But basically, I'm part of a gallery for digital art at Friedrichshain, box 32. So we have a lot of stuff going on there, and we go for art fairs, and mostly we are selling prints. It means all this digital art need to be printed, because there's no original, it's a file. So we print it in limited edition and sell it.
Your editions, there, how many limited to how many?
Usually it depends, but usually it's 100 piece.
Oh, quite a lot then, yeah.
Quite a lot, but for this I keep the price pretty low.
Yes, of course.
Other artists, they make just 5 pieces, but high price. But for me, I prefer a lot of people can enjoy a picture, than some art collectors can afford a big price. Just have the picture and it disappears. So on the one hand side, I'm living from this selling pictures for the gallery website or making exhibitions, and I take commission jobs as well. I prefer like taking panorama pictures, which is what I mostly do. So it's a mixture always between commissions, selling art, and starting.
How did this panorama picture thing start? You just took the thing and you thought, oh, that's cool, or you saw someone else's work? Or?
No, actually, my photo master, David, I made an internship in his studio, and he was one of the first panorama photographers.
Oh, right, that comes from somewhere.
Exactly. So he started this whole thing, and in a digital way, like there's analog panorama photography since a pretty long time. But since I think 15 years or something, there's this digital way to do it. So you make single shots and stitch it together in the computer. And David was one of the first photographers who did it, and I was interested, and you get this kind of fancy effect because the lines are bending. It's kind of, I thought like, yeah, that's good. Do something out of it, and so I learned the basic technique from David. And when I started to be a freelancer, and I was aware that there's a lot of photographers, a lot of good people, and to convince customers in fashion or something, it's pretty hard because there are just too many people. So I thought the panorama.
You mean as working as a commercial photographer?
You've always there's different kind of photography. People, you can work with people, you make products, blah blah blah, so many different kinds. And I think it's important to specialize. The term. And for me, it was this panorama because it was most extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, people.
Out of the natural.
Yeah, people were not used to the view.
Yeah.
So So I thought,
It's
like,
surprising.
okay, try this. And on the other hand side, there's different kind of photographers. There are the quick ones, like sports, fashion people, boulevards, like super quick, and people moving actions, and I'm kind of slow and slow person. So I like to go there, you know, take a look around, see what is this place, what is the best spot, look for the light, and then I go there a second time to take the picture.
Okay.
But it's more kind of a process than freeze the moment.
How do you get the idea, the feeling for a place? There's something special that happens when you know you want to do a picture somewhere?
No,
Not really.
Or
Do you see the picture in your head before you take it?
yeah, exactly. Like as I said, with the 360 degrees, like everything that is straight, suspended and round, and everything that was round before gets straight, more or less. And but after a time of practice, you can see what it will be as a panorama. So it's about this, because about panorama, very quickly the panorama looks very boring. Like if you just go outside, buildings are more than 20 meters far away. Basically you just have blue sky, a ground and small buildings. So the point of view it's very important for the panorama. Like 1 meter more to the left, more to the right, it will be a totally different picture. So about this, just practice, and you just get used
Experiencing.
to. Yeah, exactly. And about the atmosphere, I started the panoramas like this, panoramas from postcards. Evening time, you have all the lights, have these little stars, and it's blue and clean, and you have like nice, proper glass buildings, skyscrapers. And I started with these pictures as well, because I thought like, this is selling probably. And it is selling, but not to those people I want to sell something to. And then I found out that this is not the Berlin I experience. And I always lived in Friedrichshain, and you know, these fucked up buildings, and this old romance of old halls and parties, graffiti, all this subculture. But actually this is
what you like.
What I like and what is Berlin for me. So for me, I started to go to those places and just take panoramas there and try to transport the idea or the feeling I have with this place. And in the end I found out that a lot of people have the same emotions with the same places, and they really
connect
with this. And right now I'm just doing those places.
How did you come to Tacheles?
To exhibit here.
Yeah, I mean, when did you come to the building? When did you start working? Because I've seen you've taken pictures of the staircase.
Yeah, true. Tacheles, okay, I know Tacheles, as most people do. I've like Gino, the shop.
Yeah, he has a studio in Boxenhagen.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he has a studio in our basement, so we made this contact. The picture of Tacheles itself was just one of those places that like I have to take a portrait of that and make kind of a memory picture as I remember it, or maybe a lot of other people will remember it. Yeah, this is how I came to Tacheles.
How long have you been in Berlin now?
I was thinking about this on the way here because I thought you were going to ask me. I'm not 100% sure, but it should be like 6 years now.
6 years. And what's your feeling about Berlin? Why are you working here?
Because I'm working here, it's cheap. No, Berlin is one of those.
No, but it's a reason. It's lots of
Berlin
people
is one of those places
that's
very inspiring, because you have a lot of young creative people. Everybody's doing his own thing, develops something, so there's a lot of inspiring environment. On the same hand side, it's just cheap enough, you can afford it. I couldn't do something like that as I do it with this little income in Munich or Cologne or something. Just
Yeah,
a no-go.
true.
So it's, I think for me Berlin is a nice place to work on art, and it's a bad place to earn money actually. So just yeah. But Berlin is just the right environment for young creative people.
Yeah.
And
I was wondering, do you write at all? Text, yes, or do you have stories that go with your pictures, or are you tempted, or you?
I'm not really talented with this language. It's kind of Legastheniker, don't even know what it is. However, language is not
Your form of expression.
Not my form of expression. So I choose visual art. So no pictures, and usually the picture should explain itself. Or basically, if you have to put a text next to a piece of art, it's always a bad sign.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's, I see what you mean. But you're talking about, you want to sell it to a certain type of people. What's your idea? What do you want to give to people? You seem to have a sort of public in your head. Because you were saying you want to sell it to a certain type of people, and there's not the people you wanted who are interested. What's your idea of the people you want to reach out?
There's one nice example. Like we had one young guy who was like 20 years old or something. Obviously, he was a kind of hip-hop skater person, and he went to our gallery like 10 times or something, and he really fell in love with one of these panoramas with a lot of graffitis in the old hall in the RAV temple. And he told me like he spent a lot of time in this place, and he was spraying, and he had a big connection to this place, which is closed down, not closed down, but you cannot enter these halls anymore. So it was just a lost playground. The playground he lost somehow. And after a few months he really came back and said, like, put some money aside every month. Now he got this 280 euros and he got this 2-meter panorama. He would put it above his couch, and he's really happy about it.
I can imagine, yeah?
Yeah, he's just really happy. And except the money, this is a part that makes me happy with the work, not except the money.
You have to survive.
I have to survive on the one hand side, but on the other hand side, if you get a customer like this, and this person's really happy, and
Yeah.
this gives you something, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Did you ever do portraits before, or photography? Are you interested in people, or you prefer the landscape?
Usually it's more this urban landscape, but as every artist you have to move on. So I think this will be possible for another 2 years or something, then I have to think about something else. Now it's more about, or start to create pictures with 3D mapping, so you generate something with 3D program, add it into a panorama or another picture, like proper picture photo manipulation. So create something surrealistic, tell more stories. People I do sometimes aside, like small jobs, or I have just some projects aside, but it's not really something I would say. It's not my main business. Put it like this. But I do some people, or like all these genres of photography. I scratch it a little, but still panorama or this HDR fairy tale style. It's amazing.
Have you ever thought of doing blown up, really big ones? You know this artist JR? You know JR? He does these portraits, and he puts them on the buildings afterwards. Have you ever thought of doing like a blown up landscape thing that you would put on a huge wall? Is that something you'd like to do?